here at the next monument in Detroit, right here off the water. It's called downtown Detroit, the Hart Plaza right here. This is where all nations come down and they indulge in all kind of festivities here. So right here we have this monument called Transcending, which the word meaning accomplishments or achievements, you know, and this is supposed to commemorate the achievements of the workers of this city, Detroit. You know what I'm saying? And around this, they have basically a time capsule. It's a time capsule of all of the achievements and accomplishments that the city has, accomplished. You know what I mean? Attained. You know, but not without doing it. They have to have something that's satanic here. So right here we see the Stargate. You know what I'm saying? It looks similar to the CERN machine. It's a portal, which was, you know, a beacon for spirits. You know. You know, so right now we're gonna just go ahead and take a walk around in spiral, which they believe that's it's kind of like a satanic, you know what I'm saying, ritual or whatnot. You coming down here, but we're gonna just go ahead and show you a little bit of the monuments and the headstones that they have here. You know, so without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and walk over here.
Yeah, and as you can see, they got the different stones that are erected as well around the Stargate, and these stones is similar to the stones erected at Stonehenge, which is nothing but to invoke spirits. This right here is dealing with more sorcery and witchcraft for the so-called white man. And we're gonna go around because on the ground they have different pallets that commemorate some of the achievements, like the brother said, the achievements of what America did. And also some of the achievements that they did here in Detroit. So, but basically, the so-called white man look at these as being achievements, but really, it's not achievements. It says labor achievements are America's strength. Now, if you walk up, it says free public education. The education system that the so-called white man gave to us, which first of all, he forced you to take your children to his schools. But really, you're supposed to homeschool your children, because in the scriptures it says that he that teacheth his child grieveth his enemy. Right. Because we'll teach our children the correct way to live. We'll teach our children who our enemies are. We'll teach our children who our oppressors are. Who are the ones that hate us. Who are the wicked of the earth? Which the wicked of the earth is the so-called white man.
That's right.
So it says free public education. Even Hitler, that devil, said that he that controls the children controls the future. You know, so basically what this devil wants to do, he wants to dumb down our children.
Right, yeah, and if I might add, that's the number one way that them devils got gagged. You know what I mean? They forced them into so-called concentration camps, but they call them today reservations. You know, and they forced them to dress like the white man. They forced them to have white names. They didn't let them keep any of their culture. You know what I'm saying? So of course you want to put it back on there, all right? Free public education. Okay. All right. Okay. So what? Go ahead.
So now what we do is when we walk forward, we starting into the transcending. Yep. So that means we're stepping into an essence. Yep. We're standing in, and then it started. And this is where it transcends, because believe me, it's something that's starting with them posting this up by 2002. Yep. Something has to be going on that they had to put this. We stepping into their realm. Or they knew war, because this is to me, if you paying to see this is more like a Illuminati sacrifice room or something in that order.
Like well, let me highlight something out about this, right?
Look at behind.
He had a sword in his hand. Behind. Now, if you look at it, this is how it appears, right? Oh, Salah, you grab that from me. Yep. This is how it appears. This is the hand that's in front of you waving, right? Peace. This is the hand that's waving to you. But this is the hand that's behind. But really, it has a knife in it. So it's like this. It's appearing like this. Yep. You know. So that goes back to him bringing peace first, but having that sword secretly that he wants to get rid of you with. Now, if you look at this in 2000, there are critical things that started to happen in the 2000s. Yep. You know, like the down. Yeah, a lot of brothers waking up on the great scale. And not only that, you had different things that happened when Esau began to go forward with their agenda. You know, they blew up the World Trade Center and blamed it on the Arabs. You know, that was a hallmark for all of the different things that what Esau wants to do to us now. He started passing certain laws and legislations building up to the RFID chip in their New World Order.
Hold on 1 second. This is the word transcend. It says a group, present particle. It says to be or go beyond the range of limits of something abstract. Typically a conceptual field or division. Right. So it says to surpass.
Yeah, and what do they want to do? They want to surpass, and they want to become immortal. So now they doing different things like giving you RFID chips in your hand and in your mind. They also taking certain parts of your body and turn it into a bionic, giving you a bionic arm, giving you a bionic leg. They're merging computers and machines with human beings so that they can live forever. Because the so-called white man wants to live forever. He knows that he has a short time. Hey, when you go to, I believe that's Revelations 12 and 10. It says, for the devil come down until you know that he has a short time. So what he wants to do is to try to figure out a way where he can live forever. But he's not going to live forever.
Okay, we go into child labor. Now, in this country, do we have any like child labor laws or anything about child labor? Hell no. This is something that they...
Our people or the lower class people, you know, they had to force them. Like even then you see with those third world countries, they have those kids, they send them to work, you know, they go out there and work, you know.
And during their so-called industrial revolution, they had a great boom, you know, and after that great boom, there was need for hands on deck, all hands on deck, you know, so they were working the hell out of children. You know, but now, hey, hell, they working the hell out of the children of the Most High Heavenly Father. So really, they didn't end child labor law. Now, this right here, this is another one. This one is dealing with equality for women.
Transcending.
So basically, them believing that they're transcended by giving equality to women. When have that ever benefited anything? Since the equality of women going back to the 1970s, since they introduced that to our people, what that did was destroy our people. Because now you got the woman thinking that they're independent, thinking that they don't need a man. You know, and then what it did was, by them thinking that, it broke up the household. With woman equality, they gave them financial stability through the welfare program. And in the welfare program, basically, you can't have the husband in the household for you to receive the welfare. So what that did was that split up the household. Now you got women raising their children, and their children aren't being raised right. Can somebody grab Isaiah the 3rd chapter? I believe that's 3 and 12. Because Apostle Tahar just did a video on this. You know, you have women that are over men now. God.
This is Jeremiah 31:22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord Yahweh hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. Now, with the equality for women, now this word compass, we're gonna go into that word compass. Now it says to turn about or go around aside. Basically, a woman's man is supposed to be the one that overlords or overrules over her. But now, we're in an era now with the equality for women. This transcendent machine, which is Esau, a bitch. You know, basically what he does, he allows the women to go around our rule and go and use their laws to go around, you know, the household. So that's pretty much a part of this machine, you know, Esau's machine. You know, we're having, you know, the women, you know what I'm saying? Because when you had children, you would have your children be working around the house. You know what I mean? So you have the women who are now has the equal rights of men and are able to stand up and like the brother said, use Esau's benefits to basically stand on their own, which ruins the whole household. You know?
Yeah. So they believe in their mind that they don't need a man because of the women's liberation movement. So now you got women that are in the society and they don't have no respect for men. You know, and basically you got the so-called black woman and the women of the tribe downplaying their men, and then themselves not having the wisdom to realize that the so-called white man gave this to you to basically destroy you. Because a house divided cannot stand. And the scripture says in the book of Proverbs, a wise woman built up her house. But yet with this equality for women, that caused women to tear down their households.
This is
Isaiah chapter 4, verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy path.
So here it is. You got the women that are over the household, and they're the ones that's teaching and guiding the children. But yet they're guiding the children in the wrong way. The way that you get introduced to Christianity and praising white Jesus, you learn that from grandma, or you learn that from mama. You know, you don't learn that from your father. You learn that from grandma, and you learn that from mama. So the older people, you know, really, it takes a man to guide a household. That man is supposed to step up and be that shepherd of the household. But yet you got the woman that's standing up in the man stand. And then you got women that say, well, if men would just stand up, well really, you're basically mentally conduced to a lifestyle that where you push the man away. So the man isn't there because you push his ass away, because you've been introduced to women's equality or women's liberation. And the main ones that holler that oh, I'm independent, I don't need a man, is the so-called black woman. But you do need a man, because in the scriptures, in Ezekiel 34 and 31, it says, "And ye, the flock of my pasture are men." So it takes that man to stand up to lead the household in the right direction.
That's right. Let's move forward. Protection of civil rights.
The protection of civil rights.
Basically, civil rights is supposed to be rights basically that any civilian, if you're under a so-called like say if you're a part of a land, right, you are a civilian of that land over whoever's ruling, right, then you as a person is supposed to have natural rights. Now they categorize civil rights, which are men given rights. That's what they categorize your natural born rights as civil rights. So they make it something political or a legalese in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something that they giving you, but it's supposed to be God given. You know, so this is protection of civil rights. But you know, you can enforce your own civil rights as your own man or your own woman by what? By the sword of your hand, or what? You know, by trading and whatever, bartering, right? But you have a group against another group. That group can't protect itself if this group has an upper hand. So you had Esau trying to put down, pretty much putting in stone that no, you can't fuck with these niggas over here because they making us money. So now they had to protect their investments. They're putting what? Social security numbers on our heads now. We're stocks on the what is it called? The New York Stock Exchange. So they have to protect their investments. So that's what they came with, the protection of the civil rights. You know? But just to speak on that, in all actuality, we're not civilians. We don't have any civil rights. Right. When the whole Constitution was created, we were in slavery. You know, so civil rights were established for the so-called white man. Right. That's the reason why. Can you grab Zechariah 11 and 4? That's the reason why the so-called white man can kill us down in the street and don't have to do a day in jail for it. And that's the reason why when the so-called white man commit a certain crime, he gets a pat on the back. But you Negroes, you get tossed into the jail. You get slammed into the jail cell, man. Why you consider 3/4 of a human being?
Exactly. So you don't have a civil rights, and that's where the color of law come into play. When they call the police and say, oh, it's a black man, that's 12 squad cars that come. When they say it's a white man, there's one squad car that comes. You grab that? Can you help him out with it? Zechariah 11 and 4.
Zechariah 11.
Kind. But here it is. We're sovereign. Israelites are sovereign. We were born with God-given rights. Right. We were born with rights of Yahweh, right. which we're suffering right now, and we really can't get those rights right now because we're under the curses all the way up until the Messiah comes back. But yeah, because you violated our rights, you're gonna have to pay for that. Right. Go ahead.
Zechariah chapter 11 verse 4. Thus saith the Most High, my power. Feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them, and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Most High, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
So there you have it. You know, we were taken into slavery. That's a violation of our rights right there. And then not only that, we're in slavery, and you slay us down in the streets, and you say that you're not guilty. Why? Because you think that we don't have any civil rights.
That's right.
But like I said, you're gonna have to pay for violating our civil rights.
That's right.
That's the next part.
This right here is supposed to represent an arc, and
Yeah.
them passing on into something.
Yeah, you can see you have boats around and dock, you know, the docks. As you can see, this is pretty much this is the depiction. If you look over there, see that water?
Yeah.
Over here we got
Wayne.
we got Canada over there, right? You know what I'm saying? Across the water. Well, you got you had trade. You know, the mariners is down here. You know what I'm saying? The seamen over there, the church for them. We just went into that, and as you see, this showing the trade. You know, they're taking boat,
right there.
you know, going all up and down this coast area right here. You know, this the Detroit River right down there. You know, so this just showing that showing that. You know.
Hey, but it's something. It says the arc of history bends towards justice,
Yeah.
which is the truth.
Yeah.
But here it is. This is a plaque quoting Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
But even Martin Luther King said himself, I believe that I have led my people into a burning furnace.
Right.
You know, because he tried to make them equal with the so-called white
Yeah,
man.
and to add to that, you can tell, right, the beginning of their transcendence. This is at that part. That's the point when the atrocities against our people, Latinos, Native Americans, and Negroes, where they had to start doing something about it because it was going to get out of hand. So they had to set up wolf in sheep's clothing. You know what I mean? And that's the part. That's the part at this arc where we see that they have to do something about that so-called equality.
What happened in
And this is right here on the Industrial Revolution, but they look like they're fighting. So this says 1937 strikes. This is when, like, because Detroit was made off of the backs of laborers and auto industry and things, and that sort of. So this is when they started doing strikes and battle against each other. So what we're dealing with it now, that's when the modification or when they started building vehicles, which started increasing knowledge on how things work, because now you got vehicles, now you can transfer the commerce around here. Now it's a financial plus it's monetarily, because I think what's his name, Aleister Crowley came into the city back in 1919. He told Ford this is going to be the age of horse. So
Right. Yeah, to add to the brother, that's not too long before that you had what's it called? The Great Depression. So during that time you had a whole bunch of controversy about the like the brothers talking about the Industrial Revolution. You know what I'm saying? The transition from manpower to machine power. But you had men that had to work those machines, and that's what you see the tumults going on with the workers against the factory owners. You know?
And now they want to merge man and machine.
Yes.
But let's get this one right here. This one right here is dealing with Social Security, right? When you go back into the 1900s, what they did was they introduced Social Security as the Social Security card as a form of enslavement, as well as the birth certificate, because a birth certificate is basically a certificate of factory inventory. You know, so what they did was they put numbers on you, and they made you cattle. And at first the slavery began with the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, but now they enslave all of the Americans. That's right. You know, so they even enslave their people. So now when they want to, when you go to get hired at a job, you belong to America, but America rents you out to whatever employment, in place of employment where you're trying to get the job, so that they can make money off of you. And in return, what do you do? They get taxes back off of you. So also those numbers that are on your Social Security and on your birth certificate they like the brother said earlier. He mentioned the New York Stock Exchange. They're on the New York Stock Exchange. When America needs money, they give you to they pledge you to the Federal Reserve for collateral, for money. So Social Security isn't good. And then they have something called Social Security for the elderly, right? But they're always raising the level. They're always raising the level of age for you to receive that Social Security. And then they're poisoning you so much to where you don't even live out all of the days that it was prophesied for you to live in the book of Psalms. You're supposed to live at least 70 days, and if by way of strength, 80. But yet you're dying at 55. Pence just died in, what was he, 59?
7.
So you think that he was gonna see that Social Security? No. And then the majority of you jakes are dying younger and younger. So you never get to see that Social Security that you so-called work for. You go to work and the so-called white man breaks inside of your paycheck before you even get it. He take out Social Security, he take out FICA, he take out taxes, and all of this money, you never get to see it.
Yeah, your medical expenses. Why can't I control my medical expenses? But here you see, this is when the government had to get control of basically the people, because they were rising up. They had harsh working conditions, and this goes right in line with shorter work time and more leisure. You know what I'm saying? If you can get that out, these go right in here, because this is the battle of the transcending of the companies, you know, who are committing injustices to their workers, you know, to basically have better working conditions, pay and rates, and you know, basically not having to slave for their entire life, you know.
Kind of Social Security also, Apostle Gabar just brought out a video about how that was set up as a precursor for the RFID chip, for them to track you and then find out how what you do and what you work. Because when you get a job, you have to give them your Social Security card. That's the only way you can get a job. So everyone has to have that number. So that means you're a commodity, and that RFID chip is going to mean you really gonna hold on. They're gonna keep that commodity. That's their commodity, and that's what that was set up to buy. The precursor for the RFID chip.
And it says shorter work times, right? Yeah. And you know what they say around the world? They say Americans is lazy. You know, you niggas is lazy. Here it is. You got the Chinese. You got the Chinese back east. They go to work all year round. They go to school all year round, and then you got the Latino tribes, right? I got scripture on this real fast. They got what you call a siesta, but they're some of the hardest workers.